Midi, Composing Gloves here, and today we are going to be talking about voicing. Yes. This is one that, like, people have their music theory series I'm not sure where I was going with that. I've not really ever watched a tutorial on voicing. It's just one of those things that producers get to, like, chord building and they just stop there. Like, hey, I can make this chord now. So, okay, what is voicing? Well, let's talk about inversions here for a second, because this is the thing that becomes very important. And so here let's do the inversions of C major. Really fun. Oh yeah. Look at that. So fast. That was slow. That was pretty quick. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm master of this keyboard. Just kidding. Okay, so here we've got the three inversions of C major. Well, if we call this an inversion, there's two. There's the first position, second position, root position. So, okay, we've got our inversions here. These are all close voiced. What the heck does that mean? The intervals that make up these chords are as close as they can get. You can't get them any closer without changing the chord. So they are therefore close voiced. The inversions are different because they're different notes in the bass. But check this out. This is a root position. And as we talked about in the inversion tutorial, we could have, as long as C's in the bass, we could put that way down here. And we could have like an E over here. Well, let's go. Let's put a G, oh yeah, this is the exact chord I want. Yup, that's it. So as you can see, the way you put notes down, the voicing, because this is still root position, C is in the bass. So this is referred to as voicing. And there's all sorts of nifty things. There's all sorts of rules too. But you're doing the MIDI music theory, so you haven't learned like the hardcore stuff, and you've missed chord symbols, Roman symbols, and figure bass, which I'll recommend you watch all of those. But you're writing EDM and stuff. So, it's up to you. But anyways, you can see voicing is quite the thing. And there's all sorts of rules in 4-part writing that sort of give us guidelines on, what are the best voices to write and stuff. Because inversions might not tell us everything. Another thing to note about this is these intervals, let's put the G over here. These intervals, the way you know that this is called far voicing. This is close voicing. So close voicing, far voicing. The way you know it is far voicing is these are more than an octave away. So this could be literally a whole octave closer. Look at this. What? That's an octave closer. Same note, just an octave closer. Come bring it down even again. Look at that. Look at this E. Bring that down. Or in this case, we can bring the E down or the C up. Those are both closest voicing. So if we wanted to do that, there are a variety of ways for us to do it. Now, in EDM, there are, it's really loose formed. It's like generally popular music. People who write it aren't, highly trained classical musicians. So they don't know about most of these rules. So as a result, they don't really exist in the genre. So it's not totally necessary to know all these extra things, but they are certainly helpful and will make you sound more unique because, classical there's not like classical EDM. Like, I did a Mozart dubstep thing once. If you want to go check it out, it's on my tracks playlist thing. I had a clarinetist come over. We actually recorded and did all this cool stuff. And writing out the score was sort of insane doing it on here. So it wasn't that insane. I knew some tricks, but it's okay. Here it is. So that is voicing. So we have far voicing, close voicing. Now I want to point out a couple other things about the concept of voicing. So we have this close voicing thing. Well, think about this. There's a whole study of just unison. So if you had like a tuba and a flute, they are by definition more than an octave apart. The tuba is friggin' low and the flute's friggin' high. So no matter what, you're going to be doing voicing. Like, screw inversions, man. Whatever note you give the tuba is going to be your inversion. So you're going to be dealing with that as part of the funness that you, as especially EDM producers, probably have no friggin' clue about that kind of jazz. So that's something you need to be aware of, especially when you're using orchestral libraries, which, if you own Contact, you will be. And something else you need to be aware of is colors. So, and this is something that like makes EDM, what EDM is its use of color. So we have all these different tones available to ourselves. An orchestral composer, they have a flute, clarinet, they open up their box and the same tools are there all the time. And they really value percussion because there's all these different ways to do percussion. And it draws them to synthesizers and Moogs and things like that because all those different colors, like an endless palette of colors. So there's a study about, how you use colors and what notes, what voices do you use for the color. But color is a separate concept from voicing. So there's like the texture of your music, the color, the timbre is what it's called, the specific overtone structure of that sound. And then there is the voicing, what note you give that color. And so as you can see, it could become quite a thing. There's like, that's kind of what the study of music is all about, is getting towards. So as we write out our chord progressions, we just need to be, I want you to be conscious of this. I'm not going to be layering down like all the rules. Like trust me, there are rules about this stuff. And then like all sorts of nifty ways of going about it. But in general, you're just going to be creative, follow your gut, try out some things. And as you write out chord progressions, you'll become more and more aware of this, so that when you are introduced to the rules, they make a lot more sense. So get ready to get into some chord progressions. Probably going to be approaching the different types of cadences next, and just have some fun writing out some stuff. So that's voicing. If you have any questions about voicing, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day. Hey, Composing Gloves here, and today we're talking about citrus versus FME. Which one's better? Which one's cooler? Which one can do more, And of course the answer is not so easy. So image line, so let's just really quick go across feature sets. This should make things pretty darn clear as far as conclusions we're going to draw. So vectorial, so that's nice. You can